Guys, we're in the car, the sun is out. Strap yourselves in because, actually, first of all, let's get a drink. The sun's out, baby! My hair has been completely screwed by the wind, but it is just so warm today. Actually, it really has been screwed by the wind, Jesus Christ. Anyway, you can see I'm feeling something iced. I'm hoping they've got something new and delicious. It's unfortunately not a drive-through, which means I've got to get out the car. They have frappe. So all of these flavors, I feel like I'm going to need to get one. Perfect, thank you. Okay, we're back in the car. I went for the coffee and cream. Oh! Frap. Sorry, that really hurt my, It didn't hurt, but it, like, grated against something. Anyway. Let's try, shall we? Ooh. Oh, that is nice. I do love a frappe. Is my screen even clear? Hang on. Is that better? Probably not. Anyway, hope you've grabbed your drink because I've got mine. We are doing a little dilemmas drive with me, even though we're not driving. I'm parked up. It's all good. But I just thought I haven't done, like... Normally when I do these things, it's just to get you guys to ask me some questions and we catch up and all of that good stuff. But today I was like, no, I'm in the mood to yap and chat shit and give advice on things I'm probably not, you know, equipped to give advice on. But I still think I give good advice, regardless, you know? Sorry, the first question is actually about my phone case. Did I say to you guys that I'd ordered it? And, like, I kind of did it quite stupidly because, I don't know why, she only offers it for an iPhone 15 or a 14. I have the 13 Pro Max, and I ordered the 14 Pro Max case. It fits, and it works, if anyone cared. But sorry, I've just seen that the first question is, my dilemma is that phone case worth it? Because it reminds me of a hungry vagina a little, but it's cute. She do be giving hungry vagina. Anyway, let's answer some, like, proper dilemmas. Ooh. Sorry, somebody just told me that they got a boob reduction, best thing ever. 36 FG to a 34 double D, so happy. I might have to message her and just say, like, where's that from then? Where'd you get that done then? Tell me. Anyway, somebody said they want advice on ways to set back, but they didn't say specifically, like, what these dilemmas needed to be. They could be anything, ranging from, you know, a variation of spectrums. But somebody said ways to set boundaries on dating apps and not meet up with people that just want sex. That's quite hard because sometimes you don't know people's true intentions until it's too late. But hopefully maybe start and it sort of be something that you establish within the conversation before you meet up. Like, if that's actually something that's quite important to you, then just talk about it. I feel like the older you get, the more that you realise, I ain't got no time for the bullshit and the games. I'm sick of playing games. So there's no sort of, like, beating around the bush. If you've got questions, just fucking ask them, because realistically, you want to know the answer. You might as well just be upfront, because I don't have so much time left. No, I'm kidding. But, like, you might as well. And their reaction will be very telling. And if it's not good, then they were never meant to be for you anyway. But if it is good, you've asked and you've got your answer, and that should be the end of that. So perhaps establish it in a way early on in conversation. Maybe it be like, what are you looking for on this app? But then again, boys lie. And they just tell you what you want to hear. So, yeah, it is a sticky one. But hopefully, when you're meet up in places that, I mean, anywhere's a place to have sex, really. But you know what I mean? Like, go for a drink, go for dinner or something. If they're suggesting as your first date to, like, meet up and it be at one of your houses, I feel like that's the red flag. And that's very telling. And I would suggest somewhere else. And if they're quite against that, then, yeah, maybe they're just not going to be the one for you. Uh-oh. Somebody said, my dilemma is that me and my boyfriend broke up and we have a group holiday skiing. Do I still go? Yeah. Like, why should you be the one to not go unless it's with his group? But you've already paid for it. It depends what the breakup was for. If you're all quite amicable, why not? It will probably be more fun, and not more fun, sorry, but like it'll probably still be fun. You know, you maybe could have like a little post-breakup moment. It'd be your last big summer blowout. Literally. I'm joking. But no, like, it really is going to depend on who is the group holiday that you're going on. Like, whose group is it? If it's your group, he should obviously be the one to not go. If it's his group, see what they think. If they all still really want you to come and he's okay with it, like, why not? And then also, why you broke up. Because if you broke up because he was horrid and he cheated on you or like something like that, and it's his group that you're going with, I probably wouldn't go, because let's just be realistic, unless you're actually an amazing human being and you're totally healed and you're over it, is there a chance that you'll get drunk and bring it up and just kind of like ruin the holiday for everyone? Do you know what I mean? You've got every right to still be angry if that is what happened, but like maybe not on the group holiday and like ruin it for everyone. And I say ruin it in a sense of just like the mood. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be that girl. So it's totally up to you. If you feel like, no, you guys broke up really amicably, you're friends with everyone, they all want you to come, just go. Why not? It'll be a funny story. I bet like funny things will happen. Somebody said, my dilemma is how to not feel guilty about dating two guys at once. Sprinkle, sprinkle, bitch. Why not? He's probably dating more than one person, and like that's just the harsh reality of it. Boys do that shit all the time. I feel like it's fine, unless you're actively telling... Well, actually, I don't know. See, but this is when our, like, kind souls come into it, and as a woman, we're just like, oh no, like, I don't want to lie, I think he really likes me and stuff, but if no one's said that you can't do that, in the sense of neither one of them has made it exclusive with you, is that not the whole point of dating? It's like, and that's what like exclusive means. Exclusive means you're locked off and they've said like, oh yeah, no, like let's explore this and I'm not going to like date anyone else. Whereas dating, it's plural. You're meant to be dating more than one person. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Somebody said, double text for closure or let it fizzle. You are asking the wrong person, because I feel like I do both, in the sense of I can just be very cold and be like, if he's not responding, that's the sign. It depends what you need the closure from. Like, how serious was this situation? Did you go on a few dates and now he's ghosted you? Like, what's happened? Because sometimes for like pride's sake, like summer's coming, guys. Do we really want to be like locking ourselves in and like dealing with these situations? Like, not really. If they're going to show their true colours, they're going to show you their true colours. And that if you're even asking that question, I feel like the colours have been shown. So what good actually is it to send another text? Because they evidently don't care. That sounds so harsh, but just think to yourself, when you don't reply to someone, why is that? It's because you're not really like bothered about speaking to them, which is the harsh reality. But realistically, these are the kind of things that we need to tell ourselves so we don't waste time with people who don't deserve our energy. Period. Somebody said, actually can't be asked wasting time dating anymore. Do I join Married at First Sight or just accept I'm forever alone? Is that me messaging myself? Because I actually said to my friend the other day how I'd actually be I've like, not done my time. I've lived my life, 27. I'd actually be alright with an arranged marriage at this point, I think. Like, as long as they were funny, no criminal background, relatively good looking and understanding and hygienic, like, can't be worse than the people that I'm going for at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So I'd actually probably prefer my parents to set me up with someone and just be like, let's lock that in, and I'll just be like, all right. Oh, and they have to like cats. Maybe let's both join Married at First Sight. I'll get us the contacts and we'll get in. Oh my God, are we all just like living the same life? Somebody else said, why am I never the girl they want to date? Good enough to sext, but never get taken out. I feel you, honey. But I think it is the people that we're going for, because it's not you, you're not the problem. It's the people that we go for that just like aren't ready, and it's not. It might feel like it's always you, but it's probably every girl that they're talking to, do you know what I mean? That they don't want to take them out. I don't know the answer to that, sadly, but I just thought I'd read that out because that is very relatable. Yo, some of you guys are actually just... Do you remember when I used to do my reacting to people's confessions thing? I really feel like I started like a snowball of that. It was like It was ages ago, wasn't it? God, I'll have to find like my first ever video of that and see when it was. Because now I feel like, I should have jumped on the train of doing a podcast out of those videos, because I feel like that's what a lot of people do their podcasts on now, is actually it's more like maybe dilemmas and stuff, but like reacting to people's confessions, or a lot of like, am I the asshole? I love those ones. But a lot of these like dilemmas people are sending in are low-key confessions, because someone just said, help, although this technically is a dilemma and a confession, hooking up with an ex who has a girlfriend. I almost like want to pretend that like I didn't read that, girl, because that is bad. Imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and they probably speak about you. If you're the ex and as a girl, she's probably like, do I need to like worry about her? And he's probably like, no. Meanwhile, you are in fact hooking up. Obviously, that is bad. I can't even pretend that it's not. And it's not really even justifiable with the fact that he's your ex. Because he's your ex, girl. Leave him alone. Sorry, I can't give better advice on that. But the advice is I think you should stop before it goes too far. And yeah, like you don't want that reputation for yourself. Somebody said, my friend who I live with keeps lying to me about her boyfriend coming over. She just doesn't tell me and hides it. What should I do? That's suspicious. Does she think you're not gonna like let her? Do you know who her boyfriend is? Have you met before? But like, what? And how did that go down? Because if you've not met her boyfriend, imagine it's someone that you know and she knows that you know him, so therefore she doesn't want to see that is her boyfriend. Well, I hope that's not the case, but that's confusing. Just confront her and be like, I know he comes over, like, why can't you speak to me about it? That is, surely if you're friends, you should be able to have that sort of conversation. Somebody said, how'd you get over that bit in the relationship when you've just stopped being in your honeymoon stage and now you low-key get pissed off at everything he does? Relationships just sound fucking tough, man. Like, I don't know. You might have to communicate that and be like, but in a way that's like, I don't know what is wrong with me per se, but like, I'm just find myself getting really annoyed at like the little things, and I don't really like know what that means in myself. Like, I do feel like the key to just resolving things and solving, the situation and stuff, it is just communication, so I've heard, and it is just better to speak about it, as literal as it may be, to sort of literally say, but like, I feel like in the way I said it, it doesn't just say like, everything you do is pissing me off. Like, no, you got to sort of say it in a way that's like a question and that you're wanting to like work on it. If you're just like, I don't know what it is with me at the moment, but I'm just finding myself getting really irritated and annoyed at just like the little things, and like, is he actually really doing anything wrong? You're just like getting annoyed because maybe that's your subconscious telling you that you like are finding a reason out of nothing to not be with this man anymore, and you might need to listen to yourself. But if you don't think it is that, then it definitely is worth a conversation, because that has definitely happened to me before. I did end up breaking up with them and just like ending whatever it was, this was like a long time ago, like in school, like, or just like out of school, I just found myself, snapping at like little things, and I could visibly see that he was a bit sort of like, what? Like, why are you getting annoyed at that type of thing? And I was getting annoyed at myself, because I was like, why am I getting annoyed at like the little things? Like, it's frustrating. But then it just, conspired that we just needed to break up, so hope that helps. Oh my gosh, somebody said, my fiance says he doesn't know if he wants to marry me because I don't want him to have a bachelor party because I think there will be strippers. What do I do? I feel like that's kind of a red flag, that he doesn't know if he wants to marry you because you're... Well, okay, if he's telling you that there's not going to be strippers, but you're being like, I think there will be, to him that might just be him being like, you don't trust me. So I can see it from that perspective. But if you're just sort of saying like, just as a general consensus, I feel like, don't want you to have a bachelor party because I just don't want there to be strippers, and he's like, oh, well, if you're not going to let me have a bachelor party, then I don't want to marry you. That a bachelor party is such a minute, like 0.01% of a marriage. Do you know what I mean? And if he's using that as a question mark as to not wanting to marry you, I feel like that sounds like a bit of a cop-out. Like, that's... I mean, as long as you're not being like, you can't have a bachelor party, but I can have a hen do. Because then I'd be like, well, that's not fair. And if that's the way, if you're setting the the tone of what the marriage is going to be, then maybe I don't want to do it. If it's going to be one rule for you and one rule for me, even though I actually do live my life by that, because there are certain rules for me that don't apply to other people. Why am I doing this video? I'm the worst at giving advice because I go against everything that I say. For myself, though. Gosh. But can I just say, marriage is a big commitment, and if you are having the slightest bit of doubt, then you need to either vocalize it, talk about it with your partner, or just like not commit, because a marriage and a wedding can just be like, number one, it's so expensive. Like, it's not worth, if you're worried about what people are going to say, that is like the least of your problems. Like, it's just, it's such a big commitment. It's the biggest commitment you can really like make to someone. So if you're even having a little twinkle or an inkling of doubt, or if someone is showing you a side to them that you're like, hang on a minute, what is that? Then put things on pause and just be like, let's talk about this, discuss this, because if there is even like an inch of doubt, then we need to call this whole thing off. And like, that sounds really drastic, but it won't be as drastic as getting married, putting everyone, like, going through that whole thing, spending so much money on that whole thing, and it just like being this whole thing to get divorced or separated like a month later. That is worse, I think, than just saying like, look guys, we've had an amicable discussion and we just don't think we can go ahead with this. I think people would be like, do you know what? Respect to you for making that decision and coming to that realization. Not sure what to do because this girl has just like stood like next to my car there. So we'll answer a few more, okay? Because I do feel like I have been rambling and my camera keeps overheating and I'm actually getting quite hot in the car. So somebody said, text my ex and he hasn't replied. How do I make myself feel better? Just archive the chat. Delete the chat. That never happened. Nobody even needs to know that that happened. Like, it's actually fine. Like, who knows that you did that except me now and you. Archive the chat. Delete it. Like, honestly, Delulu in those situations is the way to be. Like, that never happened. So who cares? Unless the text was like this massive thing and now you just feel shit. But see it in a positive way, in the sense of you've let that out now. You feel better because you've said it. He's chosen to do whatever he wants with that. End that chapter. Delete the message. Somebody said how to get the confidence to date. Such bad anxiety over it. It's hard because I feel like with the right person, you'll want to see them and you'll want to go on the dates. Just make sure you're doing something that you really enjoy doing, that's fun to you, nothing with too much pressure. Also, sometimes I find if you're talking to someone and you like arrange a date, but it's not for like a week, like it's like next week, I feel like that's worse. So suggesting a date after you've been talking like literally a couple of days later allows you to not like, doesn't even give you time to like overthink the whole situation or anything like that, and hopefully that kind of helps. I don't really know. You've obviously got to want to date, to go on the dates, and then you should find the confidence, especially if it's with someone that you're like, you'll just know, like, you'll be really keen to like meet them, be like, this conversation is great, like, I'm like actually really excited to meet them. You've got to kind of like channel excitement instead, and just know if you're great at having a conversation with your friends and you know that you're a really fun person, like no matter how shit they are, you will always bring the vibes, okay? So that's just what I always tell myself anyway. Somebody said, I'm losing common ground with my best friend, just aren't getting along like we used to. I feel like, especially progressing through your like late 20s, I feel like that is just so common with people to just drift apart. You genuinely go through so much in your 20s. It's actually, I don't know, sometimes I think it's really hard to stay friends with everyone because you are bound to just have different life experiences, just be going too much, like at different paces, and it doesn't have to have any animosity behind it, but you do just naturally drift apart. And if you're losing like the common ground with your best friend, like that's okay. Like either you could try and find like other common grounds, or just, I don't know, some people are just in your life to like, you just see them when you see them, and it's like no time has passed and you are still best friends at the end of the day, and you just catch up when you like, when you see them, you know? You don't have to constantly be talking to be best friends with someone. And maybe if you're feeling like that's what's causing you to like lose this spark, then maybe you do need a little bit of a distance to just realise how much you miss each other and things like that. But unless something, like someone's done something bad, I don't think I know sometimes it's hard not to, but if you're also just like busy and living your life and you've got so many things going on, people need to not take it personally when friendships that you thought would be forever just come to a natural end in your 20s. There's just so much more going on, and a lot of the time you do sort of come to realise that maybe you were only friends by default, like because you were in school together and yeah, that's who you thought was like your best friend, and then you grow up and you actually live life and go through all of whatever you're going through, and yeah, your real friends and your true friends will stand by you, stick by you, and like, yeah, prove that they were meant to be your best friend. And some people don't, but then that works for you as well. Like you might be the one that's like drifting and not checking in with people, but I feel like you just gotta ask yourself, like, why is it that you're not doing that? And if it's because they're not the priority, then you like, you know, I feel like a lot of these, if you ask yourself the question of like, why, what am I doing as well? Like, don't always be thinking about like other people. Like, ask yourself what's your like role in a situation, and if there are things that you can improve on and you want to, yeah, work on them, then acknowledge it and act upon it. And if you do that and you're still not getting results, then it probably is down to the other person, and then you just have to like either communicate that or just let it be what it is. Because if they're not really caring or noticing the fact that your friendship is fizzling as well, that might be quite telling. And you should never beg or like have to ask for someone to like be a good friend to you. Do you know what I mean? Oh my god, my camera's getting really hot again. Okay, let me just scroll and find a couple more while my camera cools down. Okay, a lot of the like more recent ones that people have sent in, because obviously I like scrolled down to the bottom. Gosh, someone said, I'm 43. Been married 11 years, together 16, but bored and stuck in a rut. No kids and we live abroad. I feel like the no kids thing, use that to your advantage. You live abroad, there must be things that you can do. When you say stuck in a rut, obviously you're gonna have to elaborate on what the rut kind of is. If you mean like sexually or just like feel like you're stuck in a routine, you've just got to mix it up. And again, I feel like this has just been my sort of answer to most things, but just talk about it. See if he's feeling the same. If you are, be like, what can we do about this? Like, to improve it. There's always therapy. If you're thinking like maybe we should just like talk about things, and you've obviously been together for like a really long time. So when you say rut, that sounds like quite negative rather than it just being like in a routine and you're just like happy with life. Like, that to me implies that you're not happy. It's never too late to want to change your life, ever. So don't be scared of that being an option. But it sounds like you're wanting to like do something about it. So I think you just have to talk about it. Spice things up, have some fun. Like I said, you've got no kids. Like, you could go anywhere together. It says that you live abroad. Why not go on a holiday though, but like somewhere else that's totally different to the place that you live? Go to like shows together, whether that be like, I don't know, just like do things together that you both really love to do, to just like reignite that fun and spark that I'm sure that you had when you first started dating. Or maybe like reenact your first date and just say like, I want to go back to like that time in our lives and just remember why, you know, we stuck together and we have been together so long, and why you love each other so much, you know? Another one said, let's end on this one because this is quite a sticky one. My man, quite literally, but actually kind of not. My man has no libido. My man is 44. I'm 33 and is having some difficulties. How can I get him to see the doctor to sort it out? Why doesn't he want... This is what I think about this kind of thing. Why doesn't he want to sort it out? Why is he not frustrated with himself being like, I want to F my wife or partner or whatever it is. Something's not... There's a disconnect here and I want to sort it out. If he's like refusing to sort it out, or you're like... Because you've got needs too, he should be wanting to sort that out, because if it's a recurring issue, what sex life are you having? Do you know what I mean? So there's a few things to unpack there, in the sense of if he's refusing to get that sorted out, what's going on? Like, is it because he actually knows what the answer is and he just knows a doctor isn't going to be able to tell him anything? So therefore you need to have a discussion and a talk and be like, what is going on here? Because I want to like make love to you, honey. And you're starting, like, it's hard to also not take that sort of situation a little bit personally, because you're like, why aren't you turned on by me? Because that's what it feels like, doesn't it? You're just like, what, is it me? Like, am I doing something? And he should not want you to feel insecure or upset if it's actually a him problem, and he needs to vocalize it. It's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, but you can't go through life with that continuing on, okay? It's never too late to sort that out. And finally, somebody said, how do I dump a toxic friendship? Seriously, I've had enough of her, but I don't want to be rude. If it's toxic, you just need to say, no, I'm sorry, life's too short. Cut the cord. You've clearly, if you've put up with it for long enough, you've put up with it long enough, and you just need to say, like, look, I've had enough of this now. I think we should sack this off now. And just, if you don't want to be rude, you can deliver it in a sensitive and nice way, but if it's toxic and you've had enough, clearly they're not willing to work with you on it at all. And honestly, you will, I promise you, as difficult as you think that conversation is going to be, the relief you will feel not having a toxic person in your life, whether that's relationship, friendship, family member, anything like that, when you cut them off, and you'll just be able to breathe again. And you'll be like, oh my God, that heavy weight is gone. And you will always be better off. Oh guys, the drink is finished. I feel like I've yapped enough. Hopefully given you guys some good advice and answered some questions. And I'll definitely make sure to do more of these, and maybe we can do more like themed ones for specific dilemmas, or maybe I need to do a reacting to people's confessions type video. It has been a while. But anyway guys, get out, enjoy the sun. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Which, oh my gosh, Coachella next week. We be vlogging. I don't know if I'll get a video up before then, but I'll be vlogging Coachella. So get fucking excited, because of Rachel POV from Coachella. It's gonna be crazy. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.